Australian accents. This is general, cultivated, and broad. No idea what to expect.
That's interesting. That's okay, because I feel like the New Zealand accent and the Australian accent to me are very similar. It would take a lot of time for me to end with either an Australian or a New Zealander to pick up the subtleties. But for me, when I hear it, it all gets put into one. And that's just because, guys, there aren't that many Australians just walking around out here in the country.
Yeah, in the United States. So I guess it would be the same with them since. So
I think there's a lot more Americans that go to Australia.
You think so?
That has to be a high statistic. Why? But I feel like that to me is more of a trip that we make than they make up here. For some crazy reason, I just want to say that. I could be wrong, but it'd be interesting to see how many Australians in our comment section have visited the U.S. The other way around.
I don't know. Y'all let us know that, and let's check out some accents. How about that?
Let's do it. Yep.
3, 2, 1.
G'day guys, my name is Pete and I'm the host of Aussie English. Welcome to this video. Today I want to show you the 3 types of Australian accent. Let's go. So if you're learning Australian English, guys, and you're wanting to perfect that Australian accent, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the icon next to it, the bell icon, so that you can stay up to date with all of my new videos. So quick disclaimer, guys, I am not a linguist. I am simply an English teacher, specifically teaching Australian English, and a lot of my students have asked me to put this video together to show you guys the main kinds of Australian accent. As you may or may not be aware, there is quite...
I love how in the little thing it's like, I have fuck all credentials.
Yeah, and I love that he's a teacher and his students, and he just put like, I have fuck all. Like, it's just like, that's just great. I love how they use like what we would call curse words, like we're like, oh, don't say that. If you're a teacher, don't you say that anywhere. It's different over there. It's like a given.
Yeah, they say that like it's water.
Yeah.
The main kinds of Australian accent. As you may or may not be aware, there is quite a bit of variation in the Australian accent.
Truth!
Now, we're not going to cover every single variant in today's video. I just want to cover the 3 main kinds. And they are the cultivated accent.
Hello, I'm Cultivated Pete and I speak Australian English with a cultivated accent.
The general accent.
G'day guys, I'm General Pete and I speak with a general Australian accent. How's it going?
And the broad accent.
Yeah, g'day guys, I'm Broad Pete and I speak Australian English with a broad Australian accent.
Oh, got it.
All right, so according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So this is like the posh accent.
Yeah, or the yuppie accent, as we say in America. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, so according to Wikipedia, the cultivated Australian accent has in the past been perceived as indicating high social class or education. It has some similarities to received pronunciation and the transatlantic accent. So some famous Australians who speak with a cultivated accent include actors Cate Blanchett and Geoffrey Rush, as well as ex-Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser. Let's have a listen.
Yes, well no, I actually grew up in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then I came to Sydney to go to the National Institute here and then got catapulted out, and I thought, well, I'll give it 5 years and see what happens.
Johnny Depp's one of the great character actors of our time, I believe. Trapped in a leading man's body. He's got the best of both worlds. He has a brilliantly absurd sense of humour.
Most people aren't aware of it, but 1975 was, I think, the only year since the migration program began when more people left Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, you blokes are just a bunch.
Yeah.
So to me, I would say 3 years ago, if I didn't know that, I thought they were all from the UK.
Yeah, that's.
I thought Kate Blanchett was 100% from the UK.
Right, but now we know Australia is where she's from.
Blew my mind. That just blew my mind. Those two actors that I know, and I don't know him obviously, but those two actors from Pirates of the Caribbean and Kate Blanchett from Australia. Didn't know that.
Now we know.
When more people left Australia.
Yeah, you blokes are just a bunch of posh cunts.
Well, I never. How unsophisticated.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this one.
Right, now the strongest Australian accent. According to Wikipedia, broad Australian English is recognisable and familiar to English speakers around the world. It is prevalent nationwide, but is especially common in rural areas. In Australia, this dialect is sometimes called Strine or Strayan, a shortening of the word Australian. And a speaker of the dialect may be referred to as an ochre. Some examples of Australians who speak with a broad Australian accent include ex-Prime Minister Julia Gillard, the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin, and actor Paul Hogan. Let's have a listen.
And I do meet women around the world, and really the only thing they know about Australia is they might know something about kangaroos, something about koalas, and about that speech.
Do you miss the outback? Oh, absolutely. First thing, get off the plane, mate. Didn't go home. Boom, straight into the bush, threw me swag out, camped under the stars, and I was healed up. Thanks, Kate.
Wonderful and weird at the same time. I had the rare and exotic thing of being the flavour of the month or flavour of the year almost for about a year. Yeah. And then it all, if you haven't sort of come out with another blockbuster, it's all over. You're forgotten.
Well, I do believe...
Okay. Yeah. I think that's the most... when we think of Australian accent, that's what we think of. Is, crocodile hunter.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Steve Irwin and this guy, Crocodile Dundee. Like that's...
That's what we know of y'all's
That's
country.
what we know. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't sort of come out with another blockbuster, it's all over. You're forgotten.
Well, I do believe us posh cunts would refer to you broadies as ochre or bogan, depending on your social proclivities or whether or not you have a job.
Yeah, righto. Fuck off, mate. Yeah, I'm going to avoid this one as well.
Last but not least, and the most common Australian accent that you are likely to hear is the general accent, okay? So according to Wikipedia, the general Australian English accent is the most common of Australian accents. It is especially prominent in urban Australia and is used as a standard language for Australian films, television programs, and advertising. So aside from the average Australian, some famous Aussies who speak with a general accent include actors Eric Bana and Hugh Jackman, as well as Olympic swimmer Ian Thorpe. Let's have a listen.
It was so much fun, and I'd sort of forgotten how much fun you can have and are allowed to have at work, because a lot of the movies I work on are, quite dramatic, and sometimes the sets are very, very serious. So to go to work where, laughing your head off all day long was kind of encouraged and you didn't get into trouble was so novel.
2 musicals early on, which shocked me that I was even up for a musical. And I was an actor, theatre actor, really. And then I couldn't get seen for films back in Sydney. This is way back in mid-90s.
Look, I notice where the water moves. I notice, how it's around me. And if, someone's out with their kick, I hear that and I kind of feel it. It does affect me a little bit.
I think we're pretty much just your average normal Australian, to be honest.
Also lower class riffraff.
Yeah, these guys are a bunch of wankers too. Way too posh.
I gotta be honest, those last two, I can't really tell them apart.
It would have to take a lot of time to pick that apart for me.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. That was meant to be a bit of tongue-in-cheek satire, whilst also being educational and showing you some examples of the 3 most common accents that you will see when you come to Australia. There are some other sort of variants that I will try to cover in the future.
No, we do plumbing work also, yeah.
And he goes, don't be a hero, mate.
We got a good man up here.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Okay, I think the rest of this is just an advertisement. Or let's see here. Some bloopers. All right. There we go.
I hope you have a ripper of a day, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one.
Hey, never mind.
Hey, but that's awesome. That's awesome to feel that out, because I didn't even know. Like, accents are very interesting to me.
Oh yeah,
because it makes it defines. It has its own boundaries and defines its own group of people.
Right.
And whether it's a definitive line or not, I would say in the U.S. we have this. Would you say like Marylanders do have an accent, but that's like shore Marylanders, and then Baltimore has their own accent. But overall, I would say the middle of the country, if you took from like Maryland, Virginia, and just went in a straight line to Cali, you probably wouldn't hear too many variations. I'm just thinking, because I don't put like Nashville or Tennessee as twangy at all. That to me is like more Southern.
Right.
Like
I mean,
twangy Southern accent.
Yeah, it's not as hard as like when you go down to like Mississippi or Alabama, and you hear accents. Even North Carolina, it's not really that strong. Like it definitely comes out from every now and again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me kind of exaggerating right now, but generally it's not as strong as the rest of the South is. And I definitely noticed like the Balmer accent, talking about the water in Washington.
Washington, yeah. The Baltimore accent is that's its own thing that stays within the city, and some parts of Dundalk. But like the accents, it's interesting. The more plugged in we get, the less our accents become so pronounced.
Right.
And I think that's just everyone being connected in mass media. You know, globalization, and I think that's softening all the accents.
We've even heard it over on ETS. Like certain accents are quote unquote dying out because of globalization and all that. But
so this to me is it's pretty interesting. Like, let us know in the comments what do you guys think about this? Do you agree with some of this stuff? Because it's it defines a country. I think it defines certain it however you think of it, definitely defines a country.
It will help you determine whether someone you meet is either rich or you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. Like you're either talking to some pretentious ass person or someone you can just party with.
Right. Exactly. There's one person you get a job with, the others you drink very expensive beer and wine with.
Yeah. So I'm there for it. I'd be interesting. These kind of videos, it's like more of our input and more of the comment section offering their input. I love these, because it's like we don't know enough to say enough about this.
It's learning. It's
it's educational for damn sure. So
anyway, thank y'all for watching. Consider subscribing, watching another video. Thank you, channel members, for your support. What now, Dan?
Make sure you unplug and do something legendary, guys.
See y'all next time.